10 foods you shouldn't give your pet. We're all guilty of it, but how can you not give Fido a little something off your dinner plate when he's looking up at you with those big round puppy eyes? No matter how much it breaks your heart, you really shouldn't give in. There are so many foods out there that are perfectly harmless to people, but can be dangerously toxic for pets. So here's a little guide for you on what you should never give to your furry little friends. But before we jump right in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any of our updates. Number 10. Onion and garlic. Thankfully, most cats and dogs will turn away from the pungent stench of an onion or garlic clove if their uninformed owner offers it to them. But in case your pet is a walking garbage disposal, make sure it can't get to these foods. And of course, never give them to your furry companion. According to the Pet Poison Helpline, a 24-hour animal poison control center, plants and vegetables in the onion family, such as garlic, leeks, shallots, and chives, to name a few, contain propyl disulfide. This chemical destroys an animal's red blood cells, causing anemia, which, in severe cases, can do serious damage to the internal organs. The most common symptoms are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, lethargy, abdominal pain, and an increased heart rate. They usually appear within several days. If you suspect that your pet has onion or garlic poisoning, take action and contact your vet immediately. Number 9. Lilies. According to Dr. Justine Lee, a board-certified emergency critical care veterinary specialist and toxologist, lilies are extremely toxic to animals and can destroy their kidneys if consumed. There are actually two types of lilies out there, benign and dangerous ones. Benign lilies include the peace, Peruvian, and calla varieties. They pose less of a threat to your pet since they don't come from the Lilium or Hemerocallis families. But that doesn't mean they're totally harmless. They can still irritate the mouth, tongue, throat, and esophagus. If your pet suffers from benign lily poisoning, give them something tasty like canned chicken broth to help flush the crystals out of their mouth and clear up these unpleasant symptoms. And then there's the other type of lilies, like tiger lilies, day lilies, Easter lilies, red lilies, and many more. They're highly toxic and potentially fatal for your pet, especially cats. Dangerous lilies can cause a loss of appetite, vomiting, excessive urinating, and increased salivation. As with any case of poisoning, the sooner you get your pet to the vet, the better. Lily poisoning is especially serious though. Treatment usually requires 3 whole days of hospitalization. Number 8. Avocados. Avocados have a ton of health benefits, so you should definitely try to include them in your diet. The same can't be said about your pets. Avocados contain a fungicidal toxin called persin. According to the Pet Poison Helpline, it has a mild level of toxicity, only targeting certain species. Basic signs of persin poisoning include gastrointestinal problems, troubles breathing, and heart issues in both dogs and cats. Foreign body obstruction is another risk when it comes to avocados. If your pet swallows the pit whole, it can get stuck in their esophagus, stomach, or intestinal tract. So make sure that your pets have no access not only to avocados, but also to pits you might have tossed in the trash. Number 7. Coffee and chocolate. Everybody seems to know about the no chocolate rule for pets, so this one probably comes as no surprise. As for coffee, well, I don't know anybody that sits down to have their morning joe alongside their cat or dog, but still, let's talk about why your pets shouldn't have either one. According to the Pet Poison Helpline, caffeine can be anywhere from moderately to severely toxic to an animal. It can cause elevated heart rate and body temperature, excessive urination, dehydration, tremors, seizures, and possibly death. Chocolate has its fair share of awful consequences too, especially dark chocolate since it contains more theobromine. This is the substance that makes chocolate toxic to animals. So when people say their dog got chocolate poisoning, it's actually theobromine poisoning. Its early symptoms include digestive issues, dehydration, and a slow heart rate. Later stages of theobromine poisoning include seizures and even death. Always keep chocolate out of your pet's reach so that they won't be tempted to try it. Number 6. Bones. Dogs and bones are like macaroni and cheese. They just go hand in hand. We're not saying you can't give Spot a big juicy bone to chew on. In fact, you absolutely should. Bones are a great source of minerals and nutrients for your canine companion. Plus, the act of chewing stimulates saliva enzymes, which helps prevent gum disease and plaque buildup on the teeth. You just have to be careful which types of bones you're going to give your dog. According to the American Kennel Club, poultry bones like chicken or turkey, as well as pork bones and any cooked bones are strictly forbidden. These types splinter into shards that can not only choke a dog, but also do serious damage to its mouth, throat, or intestines. Most vets agree that raw meat bones are okay, but you should still supervise your dog while it chews on one. Don't let your dog chew on a bone for more than 15 minutes. After that, put it in the fridge until the next time you give it to your pooch. Throw any raw bones away after 3 or 4 days. Size is also important. The bone should be larger than the length of your dog's muzzle. Otherwise, it presents a choking hazard if swallowed whole. Since any bone can break into dangerous shards when chewed on enough, a lot of dog owners feel it's not worth the risk. You can always give your pup high-quality, nutrient-rich dog food, good dental chews, and regular teeth brushing to replace what bone chewing provides. But still, bones or not, you should be doing all these things anyway. Number 5. Apples. It might come as a surprise that something we humans should be eating once a day to keep the doctor away can be bad for our pets. But alas, here it is on the blacklist. It's red apples in particular that are a no-no for your cat or dog because they can cause an allergic reaction. And it's not really the apple itself that's dangerous, it's the seeds. They contain cyanide, which is perfectly safe for people in small doses, but extremely harmful for animals. Vomiting, diarrhea, and dehydration are the first signs of poisoning. And it's not just apples though. You can find such seeds in cherries and apricots too. If your pet ingests these cyanide-filled seeds, take it to the vet immediately. Number 4. Tomatoes. Tomatoes, along with potatoes and eggplant, contain a chemical compound called solanine. It's concentrated mostly in the green parts of these plants, like the leaves and stem, as well as in unripe vegetables. While we humans are pretty much unscathed by it, our pets aren't so much. If your dog has gotten into your tomato garden and eaten what he shouldn't, as they love to do, be on the lookout for signs of tomato poisoning. They include digestive problems, loss of coordination, muscle weakness, tremors, and seizures. One totally ripe tomato a week shouldn't cause any harm to your pet, but it's always best to ask your vet first just in case. Number 3. Raw eggs. Finally, a food on the list that's bad for both humans and their four-legged fur babies. The avidin found in egg whites disrupts the metabolism of vitamin B in the body. This blockage can lead to dry, flaky skin, which can become infected if your pet scratches at it too much. Given that dry skin is often itchy, the threat is real. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, bacterial contamination is another danger here. Just like people, cats and dogs can get salmonella or E. coli poisoning from consuming raw eggs. These bacteria can be in both the white and the yolk, so you should always cook your eggs before eating them or sharing them with your pet. Number 2. Grapes and raisins. To show you just how toxic these foods are for pets, consider this. Just half an ounce of grapes can poison a 10-pound dog, and it's all because of the negative effect grapes and raisins have on your animal's kidneys. Signs of poisoning include lethargy, loss of appetite, diarrhea, vomiting, and dehydration. Don't wait for it to clear up on its own. You've got to take your pet to the vet in case of food poisoning. Of course, the best treatment is prevention. Make sure your furry friends don't have access to any of the foods on this list. And that includes Number 1. Ice cream. That's right. No sweet, delicious, mouth-watering ice cream for your feline or canine companion. Tough luck, Fido. The main issue here is all that milk and sugar. Since most adult animals are lactose intolerant, ice cream doesn't really agree with their system. So instead of feeling the pure joy you or I get from gulping down a bowl of ice cream, your pet gets diarrhea, vomiting, and gastrointestinal issues. Plus, all that sugar means unpleasant dental problems. No matter how much your dog or cat is trying to get some of your ice cream, don't give in. After all, their health and well-being is what's most important here, right? Do you know any other foods that are harmful for dogs or cats? Tell us what we missed in the comments below. Since this is really important information to get out there, be sure to share this video with everyone you know. Don't forget to give us a like and click that subscribe button.